So please have your questions. We got Kate like we did last time. I think we got Supriya Mataji as well. And we're going to have the same format. So let's first of all, let's welcome His Grace Sri Vallabha to the stage again. Haribo! 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 And then we'll have to do it again because he had to come off the stage. So we have two long microphones thank you. Which one has Kate got? One long one so she can go that way. But before we start, it'll be nice actually, before we start the Q&A, to just Sri Vallabha to share some more nectar with us. And then we'll go into the Q&A. But just get your questions ready. Get your questions ready, because this should trigger you to give some questions. Hare Krishna. I will now hand over to His Grace Sri Vallabha. Haribo!
Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Retreat. Namaha Acharya Padaya Nitaya Prapadayane Gaurakata Dhamadaya Nagargramatharine. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Magyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chalakya Chaksharan Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna to all of you. It's interesting for me because I've never been much in conventions. I got stuck into the London convention because Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj told Nitai Charan Prabhu, invite Sri Vallabh Das. So I just told Nitai Charan Prabhu, I will try to make it. But he took it as a positive, and my son sitting here sent me a notice with a photo of mine on the picture. He said, Pa, you said I will try to make it here. They've already got your photo on. Right now you tell yes or no. Okay? Then I called Nitai Charan Prabhu and I told him, Nitai Charan Prabhu, please, I'm not a sannyasi. I'm not a traveling preacher. I'm a grahastha. I have an office to go. And I have my congregation to do. I have my responsibilities in the Middle East as Hare Krishna to do. And I'm going to South America for 10 days, all alone with Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj. And so just coming back from there, I doubt whether I will have enough time to really come. But I will try. I couldn't say no to him straight away. He's a senior man and who is asking me to come. So I said, I will try. Then he said, don't worry, by Guru Maharaj's mercy, you will make it. So in his wonderful style. He says, by Guru Maharaj's mercy, you will make it. And so that was the beginning. And then I ended up being in two conventions, one in South America just last week, and one here in... So I'm a frog in the well, a small congregation that we started off. And just as, Srila Prabhupada in the olden days, if you see how London grew up, Srila Prabhupada just started the movement in the US, and he saw a bunch of youngsters who came along who were enthusiastic. He empowered them immediately. None of them had to go through Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vriksha. Srila Prabhupada just gave them some knowledge. He told them how to wear dhotis, how to cook some chapatis, and he told the devotees, go to London and start the center. Some devotees who were just 6 months old, go to Germany and start the center. Just by the faith that they had in Guru, within that 6 months. So he was a very special person. That's why we call him the Shakti Avesh Avatar. So he empowered them. And he said, just go and start. And as we see yesterday, the song that I sang of Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling to the West, How, even though he was a 65, 69-year-old man, his guru had already passed away 35 years ago. Before that, I think Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had disappeared in around 1932-33, if I remember correct. And after that, Srila Prabhupada, he finished his Grihastha Ashrama, he took sannyas, he was author of many books, author of Back to Guarded, he was already residing in Vrindavan, but still the rapport that he had with his guru by writing a poem where he is talking about Sri Siddhanta Saraswati, Sachi Sutta Priyati, Krishna Tevaya Jaratulanai. So he's talking about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He is conversing with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and he is saying, I have no power. My dear Guru Maharaj, it's your desire that I go and preach in the West, and I'm doing that. And the same Srila Prabhupada instilled that in the disciples that he made. They were just possibly 6 months to 1 year. I don't think anybody was more than that. When did first devotees come into London? 66, 67, 68? The first batch. And just imagine, just within 1 year of training, Srila Prabhupada sent them off, right? And because, number one, Srila Prabhupada was a very special person. And Srila Prabhupada empowered them, gave them all his blessings. And as long as we are doing and we are following the instructions of the Guru, we are in touch with the Guru. Now keep in also mind that Srila Prabhupada was with us as after he started the movement. Srila Prabhupada was there only for 12 years. And the 12 years he traveled and went around the world 14 times. And there were a lot of ailments. He was also, many times in the hospital. He was many times in Vrindavan. He didn't travel. Many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, except a very few, got the opportunity to see Srila Prabhupada 3 times and 4 times and 10 times. I doubt whether anybody would have seen much more. The 80-90% of Srila Prabhupada's disciples would have possibly seen him. Actually, many of them didn't even see him. They got the beads from their temple president. And they did not even meet Srila Prabhupada. Okay? But they all worked on Vani. We all know about Vapu and Vani. Now, I'm just bringing that scene only to say that we are fortunate, more fortunate than the disciples of Srila Prabhupada in one way. That we are having association with our Guru Maharaj. Okay? So, disciples of Srila Prabhupada are extremely fortunate as they are connected to Srila Prabhupada. I didn't mean from that angle. I'm talking about from the angle of our length of association with our Gurudev compared to their length of association with their Gurudev. Okay? So here, our Guru Maharaj has served in the movement for 50 years. How many times he's visited London? I know every occasion, excuse, he has to come to London, he will come. Birmingham Rath Yatra, here, there, transit to many other parts of the world. He never misses a Rath Yatra. So he used to be called the most Rath Yatra attended sannyasi in the moment. He is the oldest sannyasi in the moment at this particular moment. Okay? And he's got the energy. I think today, the morning session that Mahavara Prabhu talked about Guru Maharaj, and we had the flavor from Raman Swami Maharaj. We know how Guru Maharaj has relentlessly worked to bring it all to this level of, maturity. And so our responsibility as devotee care, we saw Mataji speak about it. We have to take care that every single devotee is being in contact with the movement. And we show that care. If somebody is missing for a few retreats or congregation or a festival, we should be in a position to know that he has not come. We should be able to call and check whether he is okay, he needs any help. In this part of the world compared to in India. In India, somehow or the other, people are all family men. They stick around. If an old man is there, he is generally there with his son, with his daughter, daughter-in-law, family, grandchildren. Here, many of you are loners. I've been meeting so many people in the last few days, and many of them said, I'm all alone. So, there is this need of devotee care much more than what is required, where a society is giving care. That care of a society is not there in everybody very much here. So, we have to work together very well. And the reason why I was coming up with is, as much as Srila Prabhupada empowered his disciples to go and preach around the world, Guru Maharaj has empowered each one of us to go and do things. Because he's always giving instruction to say, go and preach. At initiation, what is the oath he takes from you? Will you help Srila Prabhupada and me in fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's mission? So that's important aspect here. And so Guru Maharaj has empowered people. It was, the reason why I'm coming back is, let us all not think, and yesterday I was telling you about one thing, let's not think too much of humility and be very humble, say, I don't think I can do anything. Empowered people can do something. You all think, Sri Vallabha can do something. Or you think, okay, Jagannath Kirtanananda can do something because he is doing this good, that good. But I'm not capable of doing anything. So generally that attitude is there. It's good from a humility perspective. But when it comes to service, I think you should shed all those thoughts and be the forerunner, front runner. Don't worry, make mistakes in the process. Don't only do the mistakes of Vaishnava aparad, but your preaching efforts, a few mistakes that you do, it's a part of learning as you progress. So you have to make an effort. So when Guru Maharaj says, go do Bhakti Vriksha, go do this and go do that, we have to try. We know how much it is close to Guru Maharaj to conduct Bhakti Vriksha programs, or for every one of us to preach. So we have to assess for ourselves, am I preaching? Am I reaching out to people every day? Or am I inspiring others to do it? Okay? So, normally I say, yesterday also I quoted this verse. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that, what's in it for me? If I'm really preaching, what do I get? Actually speaking, by preaching, we get the maximum benefit. By doing your own sadhana, you get X. By preaching, you get X plus, plus, plus. Why? Because every soul that you bring towards Srila Prabhupada, if he starts chanting one round of Hare Krishna, you get commission for that. Have you heard of the term intending agents? Have you heard? It's very common in Dubai, because Dubai is not a manufacturing atmosphere. You buy from China, you buy from Europe, you buy from USA, and the middleman who is sitting there is only a trader. He buys from there and he sells it to the retail outlets. But he does not know who the suppliers are. So there are agents who are sitting, who are authorized representative of the supplier. And all that guy does, he doesn't even import and stock. All he does is, sir, do you want to import 100 bags of cement? Okay, I can give it to you for $5 a bag. Are you okay? He does a document, he sends it to the headquarters and to the head office, and the head office says, no problem. And they ship the material. He does not even see the material, by the way. And the customer directly gets it, but the bank gives him a 1% commission for the deal. He's done a $500 deal or a $5,000 deal, he gets $50. He does not see the material. All he has to do is meet, connect, and then the connection automatically happens. We are intending agents. We are authorized representatives with our Guru Maharaj empowering us to go and preach. All we need to do is connect these souls. And this is what the Shastras say, Marga Pradakshaka Guru, right? You don't have to even preach. But some of us are mentors. Some of you are spending a lot of time with every individual. And you heard Maharaj saying how much time he spends, Guru Maharaj spends with devotees. Many of you spend hours and weeks and months with devotees. But the easier thing to do also, if you can't spend that much time, is just say, here is the Bhaktivedanta manor. Here is the Watford temple, the Soho temple, or here is a convention. By just telling that, if somebody comes, you get commission. And that's a guaranteed commission. Okay? So that's where the Lord says, Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhaktesha vidasyati bhaktim mai param krutva. What is the commission we get? You get the best bhakti. The Lord says, don't worry about it. You are very dear to me. Yeah? So that's our job. Very easy. Let Guru Maharaj give all the mercy. Let all the devotees who are capable of spending all the time give all the mercy. It's our job, every one of us. If you can't preach, you have to at least direct people to say where the programs are coming. But however, that's not enough. We all have to be preachers. Otherwise, really speaking, coming into the Chaitanya movement and not preaching, not becoming a gardener is insufficient. We are not using this, I would say, opportunity that we got to preach well. Because as you preach, your Guru is very happy. Srila Prabhupada is watching you and he is extremely happy with you. And Lord Chaitanya is extremely happy. And definitely without fail, asamshayaha, we will go back home, back to God by just the mercy of the devotees that we preach. You know? So that's sometimes I say, by my own strength of my own sadhana, I don't know whether I'll ever go back to Krishna. But by the strength of prayers of all the devotees that I have enabled to come into Krishna consciousness, Krishna, I told you about the example of Mumbai train yesterday. Because I got the whole crowd around, the crowd will push me into the train. That's all. So because I got the crowd around with me, they will push me in. So we have to be nimitta matram bhavasavyasachin. Krishna tells Arjuna, just think of yourself as an instrument. You're only an instrument, but I'm doing everything. Guru Maharaj is doing everything. By just his darshan, darshana matrena pavitra. There's a particular beautiful song. What is that? I'm not getting the exact word. Gangera parasahoy paschatera pavan. If you have a bath with Ganga, you have to have bath again and again and again. But darshana matra, just merely by darshan of acharyas, you get purified. Many times when people come, when Guru Maharaj was just in his normal condition, massive, come like this, and with a stick holding on like this. Just imagine, as he walks his stride of walking, I've gone on parikramas with him. He's leading the parikrama right on the front. He's walking like a king. Every time we say Maharaj, and his turban. And he's huge too. American, white, extremely handsome. Personality attracts people. Darshana matrena, people become, attracted to him. What's wrong? The best way to attract, right? Many times in the airport when I've gone, they're very careful in the airport in the Middle East. You don't want to show that he's a sannyasi. He wears a pant and a shirt. From one building to another, he won't go in a sannyasi vastra. Guru Maharaj is perfect in his rules and principles. I'll say, Guru Maharaj, that's okay, that's just one building to another. No, you'll wear a pant shirt and then only go. Because his thought is that we shouldn't put the preaching into risk. And in the airport once we were talking, Maharaj, 10 people came around. He's Maharaj of which place? Really? Just when he's there, it's enough to change. We are fortunate to have much more than just darshana of Guru Maharaj. We are fortunate to, take his instructions. We are fortunate to listen to so many lectures. And every one of you would have got more than 1 minute with Guru Maharaj every time he comes. And this we should not let go. We should not just take it for granted. We should therefore be more indebted to Guru Maharaj with every visit of his. And we should think, what am I doing? It was very interesting to hear the report of the devotees yesterday, today, talking to various devotees with Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, talking about how you had difficulties as Bhakti Vriksha here, but how very carefully and nicely managing with the local temples, how it was all, they are seeing the value of preaching. Sometimes we call it mentoring, but the Bhakti Vriksha includes every aspect of devotee care. And so I think every one of us should take it up. Please do not, when I think I told you, when we started the Hare Krishna programs in Dubai, it was just me and my father. And we used to bring all the children into the temple. And the Matajis used to be there. Sometimes I used to say, why don't you start a class? There are so many children in your area. Why don't you start? We can't come. We can't come to all the places. Why don't you start? No, Prabhu, we can't teach like you can. We can't do it. And you have to come. Okay, you start. Okay? We'll come occasionally a few times. And then many of them started off. And then we used to go once in a month or twice in a month. But then gradually when we know that go on, there, for an infant you have to, the walking capability is in every individual. As a child is born, it knows the skill of walking. The father has to only lend his hand, a finger, thinking that he is going to train the whole child and he is going to train the child in walking. No. The child holds the hand of the father a few times, falls down a few times, and then it's up and running. Human beings, sometimes we think are supreme intelligent beings, the best of the living entities, right? But you'll be surprised, how many of you have seen a calf being born? How many of you have seen a calf being born?
As soon as the cow delivers, the calf is standing instantly. And the next 3 minutes, the calf is running. What's the difference between a human being and a calf? Imagine. So this capacity to walk and do everything is given by the Lord. And we are just, as a parent, holding hand to guide. Guru Maharaj is giving more than that. He is given himself up, not just a finger and not a hand. He is giving himself up day in, day out. Every time he comes here, it's an effort. Every time we tell him, Guru Maharaj, travel less and travel less. But internally we think, okay, you travel to other places less, but come to Dubai. And all of us think like that. But then Guru Maharaj knows, and he finds our excuse, and he gives you reasons why he should travel. And see, one reason why we never could also stop him also is, for preachers like this who have been always with people, he's a Bhajananandi, a Goshtyanandi, not a Bhajananandi. So he likes to be with people at all times. If he does not travel, if you say, no, Guru Maharaj, you should not travel, it will pull him down even more. My mother is 75 years old and she's got all the problems. The doctor says that's not there, this is not there in her body. But as soon as she's got work to do in the Goshala, she goes there. I say, Mommy, go to the Goshala. She goes herself to the Goshala, spends 15 days there in the Goshala, takes care of cows and calves, and come back, and we never talk about her health. She never talks about her health. So how to be fully actively involved in service of Krishna? When you are engaged in service of Krishna, when you have festival after festival, you have visitors after visitors, you have class after class, you have Damodar Arti after Damodar Arti after Damodar Arti. In a house, even the husband and wife will not talk to each other. So what is the problem of relationships? Nothing at all. Forget about other politics in the yatra and others. You don't have time to think about, he didn't do that and he didn't do that and he didn't say Hare Krishna to me. No, it doesn't work that way. We just get busy. Once I told Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, I have a unique problem. Too many sannyasis visiting us in Dubai. Out of 52 weeks, I have 100 sannyasis visiting us in a year. And Dubai, Emirates, I am staff of Emirates. We say Emirates, Dubai is in the middle of the whole world. So wherever you want one stop, you can travel from Australia to America. From which place to that place. So Dubai, fortunately, I have traffic uncalled for. And that's the best traffic of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, who just come, land, and Maharaj, how long you have to be here with us? I don't have to pay for ticket also, by the way, because they've already bought the ticket and gone. So they just land, all I have to do is just accommodate them, receive them, and host them, and squeeze them out. I was telling Revati Raman, Prabhu, come for Damodar Arati to our place, we'll squeeze you out. He said, you won't find any oil. I said, I'll find Tirupati Laddu in you. Don't worry about it. We'll get it all out. So the point is, we are experts in squeezing people who come to Dubai. If they come until the Maharaj says, don't organize program. Sometimes Jayapataka Maharaj comes and he's like this. And I say, okay, Maharaj, I've done overdone with you. Because I have organized a program, he still goes. But then next day I see him like this. And I said, okay, Maharaj, sorry, forgive me. I'll cool down. He's coming to me next week, 27th to the 1st, he's there with us. So we have the opportunity to have so many devotees, so many disciples. So I told Jayapataka Maharaj, we have so many sannyasis. I can't say no to anybody coming. Sometimes I'm in a situation to say, Maharaj, don't come. And it becomes a big problem sometimes. They get affected and offended if we say no. So when we say no, I have a problem that I have too many. He said, that's a good problem to have, don't worry about it. So that's the problem we all need in life. The more of association, anartha nivritti syat. All the anarthas go away. So don't think, am I overdoing in terms of course, many times I'm having to control many of my congregation devotees to say, you are overdoing. Spend some time with your family. Spend some time with your children. Occasionally I tell them, take your wife for a movie. Because the wife comes and says, he never takes me out anywhere. No park, nothing. Every time program. I said, okay, Baba, go take your family because you need to watch what is happening. Because there has to be time given to family also. See, compared to a temple devotee who may possibly, give a 4 o'clock to 1 o'clock or different schedules. But many times temple devotees are comfortable. They are up for Mangalarati, then they may be free to do any other thing. But most of us are working in the outside world. We are not living in a temple. We have an office to do. we have our family to take care, and we have our preaching commitments. It becomes 3 shifts for each one of us. And that's even more, I would say, involving. So you need to be very careful. But many times they come and tell me, how do you, I don't know, Srivala Prabhu, how do you balance your life between a senior position in Emirates Airlines, between a congregation, between a Goshala that I have to run and operate, between my family, and between my travels. You know, but it is all the doing of Krishna, all you need to do, you know. But one thing that I have learned over a period of time, there was a particular time when we were small as a yatra, I had to do everything, A to Z. And a program is organized, I organize for a sannyasi to come, I organize for his prasadam, I organize for his stay, I have to carry books for distribution, and I call everybody and try to invite everybody for the program. That was early days in Damodar Desh, as I was doing it practically single-handedly. But then my father was like a preacher, okay? So he will preach administratively, he will not do anything. But whoever he speaks, he doesn't bother. He just gives shlokas and preach, and even a taxi driver in that 5 minutes he will preach to him. Okay? So that was his nature. But me was trying to organize this for him, that for him. So it was a good training for me to do. But in course of time, as I threw it open to people, I said, you like to do any particular seva? Come, look at what seva you want to do, take it over. So slowly, one by one, somebody came and said, I'll take the book service. Then 1 service, 2 service, 3 service, and now practically I am without any service. For the last 4 weeks, I have not visited the congregation at all. Okay? Janmashtami, practically nothing I do now. Until 3 years ago, I was doing many things. My wife has kicked me out of that seva also now. So all I need to do is, she knows that when she plans for a Janmashtami event, and she says she's going to do this decor, that type of this, and A, B, C, she would have planned it all out. But last minute I go to the meeting and I say, that's not okay, this is not okay, change this, change that. So what she does very carefully is just involve me in that one meeting, and after that, what is done on Janmashtami, I don't know. I'm just the MC of the Janmashtami day. I come, sit here, I'm still a little attached to that. But I just come, sit there, and everybody says Sri Vallabha has done the best program. And as I was telling you yesterday, the Lord, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasha Shriyata Jnana Vairagya Shaiva Shadvidam, what is that? Ittam. Okay, anyway, forget that last line. But the 6, Yashaha, as I was telling you, as much as Krishna is famous around the world, devotees can become famous around the world. Revati Raman Prabhu was telling me yesterday, Srivala Prabhu, everybody knows you. That's just a question of nothing that you need to do. And you're not doing it for anything at all. You just try and adopt these principles, start preaching, and do it with no desire for anybody having to come and give you a garland, and you don't deal with people as you're the leader. Deal with them as one among them. When you're with children, be a child. When you're with youth, be a youth. When you're with the family, have a picnic, go masti, do this, do that, whatever you want. But when you have to preach, you preach. But befriend everybody. In Damodar Desh, we have a yatra which has got more than 400 initiated devotees. And we have disciples from at least 6 or 7 gurus working together. Nobody will ever say who is from what guru. That's one other thing that we need to be careful. While here most of us may be disciples of Guru Maharaj here today, but we need to be very careful that the movement is very large. We are a movement of Srila Prabhupada. We need to understand the sensitivities. We need to work very carefully. And we need to always be thankful to Srila Prabhupada as our prime Siksha Guru. And we have to hear Srila Prabhupada every day, worship Srila Prabhupada every day. And yes, then serve Guru Maharaj. Follow his instructions. Because his instructions are also in the service of Guru Maharaj. So, all I'm just trying to say here is that a very average student in life, who always got only 60% of the marks, who never had any capacity to speak, who not good in any drama, dance, nothing, simple Brahmana family, nothing more than that. Just the touch, a little mercy of Guru Maharaj. You see that off and on. Many times when I go to Mayapur and I see some of these Bengali devotees, amazing. Because he's just from a very simple family background. Some of them, his parents are masons or carpenters. But the Bengalis are very special. They have all the qualities. They know how to sing, they know how to play kartal, they know how to wear dhoti very nicely, they know how to play harmonium, they know how to cook, and they learn English and they can do anything. In the Middle East, we have a huge community of Keralites, Malayalis. The Middle East call them Malabaris. Okay? They don't like it anyway. So the Keralites, when they come in, so you would say, do you know to do this work? Okay? So what you would say? No, I don't know. You teach me once, I can do it. That's the confidence. And that's why they're there everywhere in the Middle East. You go to any part of the world, even to Himalaya, they'll say you'll find a chai ka dukan, where there's a Malbari sitting there. That's their can-do attitude. And we as devotees should have that can-do attitude. Because I can do it. Guru Maharaj has empowered me to do it. And he gives it. He tells you, Yare deka tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amaragneya guru hana taraye desh. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attitude. And the same thing, Srila Prabhupada is given an empowered, Guru Maharaj is giving an empowering, and all the Bhakti Vriksha leaders are also giving the same, an empowering. So, you should not have any problem to say, I don't have devotees available to do seva. And if the leaders are saying that, it's a problem with the leaders and not with the people who are here. Because yesterday I met so many Matajis and Prabhujis, and I could see that they all have capability. And they all said, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. It's a question of how to just get them together, empower them, give them some tools, and just getting them afloat. That's all. So, you have to meet more often like this. You jot down your own capabilities. If you think your capability is not being used, you don't have 5 hours of any particular work to do, jot down, send a message to the leader and get him to think what you can do. But you also think. How to start children classes? Very simple. Just go to a place where a lot of children start chanting Hare Krishna, hold a painting competition right there, and then you tell them, every week we are looking at starting a children class. As simple as that. And they will all start flocking over and coming over for the children class. And the same with youth program, the same with Bhakti Vrikshas. And I think you all have the capacities, you all leaders yourself in Bhakti Vriksha children program. It's a question of just working together. And I think that's all I want to say. If you think there are any questions, please do. I'm, as I said, I'm propped up to be here today. I'm as much as a small frog in the well as all of you are. You are possibly more experienced than me. And many of you have served Srila Prabhupada's movement, have directly been worshipping in the temple, have been serving in the temple for 30, 40 years. And so my Krishna Consciousness Association is only 30 years. And the example that I told you is when my father went to meet Guru Maharaj in Chennai. Guru Maharaj said, oh, you're going to Middle East? I'm the GBC from Middle East. Go and preach. That's all. Nothing else. Go and preach. And so my father went. He was already having the preaching spirit. He started to preach. I was his assistant, helping him around, and gradually things grew. So it's a question of how every one of us can preach, and every one of us can create a huge group. If one man, Srila Prabhupada, could go to the West and create a revolution around the world, all of us in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada can do it. So let's all do it together. Hare Krishna.
Wow. Now that was a spiritually, motivatively amazing talk. Thank you, Sri Vallabha Prabhu, for inspiring us, I think, and motivating us. So these are 2 key things that I think a lot of people really want. So, following on this, Q&A, this is your opportunity now. So we have Kate. Have you got your mic? And we have Supriya Mataji. So, can you please keep an eye out if there's anyone, if you could just, anybody would like to ask a question, just raise your hands and we'll take it from there. Hare Krishna. Let's see the hands raised. Actually, Mataji was first today, yes.
Mataji is TTC 1, TTC 2, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava. She's a very capable person. She can do Bhakti Shastri training for all of you here. I don't know how many TTC 1s and 2s are there. That's where I say we do not know the capacities that we may possibly have. So you all have to know your capacities and engage everybody. Yeah, sorry, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for an inspirational, motivating class, and the talk was very, very inspiring, enthusing us to serve Prabhupada's mission very nicely. What our question is, Revati Raman Prabhu gave a talk on Vaishnava Seva, and they said about that really was a very striking message. They said if one hears, chants Hare Krishna mantra, he is a Vaishnava. If one hears Hare Krishna mantra, he is a Vaishnava. So my endeavor, like doing Harinam every day in Leicester City, regularly, hundreds and thousands of people, the shoppers, the students, they hear and they say, Hare Krishna! And they sing. And so my question is that if these hundreds and thousands of unlimited people hear the Hare Krishna mantra, as Prabhu said, they are Vaishnava. So what kind of, are they, these Vaishnava qualities, how, are they temporary? Are they, how does it affect their lives? Because they hear, and then we don't see the result of it. We don't say, so how much effective this Hare Krishna singing, the hearing, put in their lives.
Okay. Oftentimes, because I have 100 sannyasis in Damodar Pradesh, questions are answered by most of the sannyasis. I pass it on to them. So your question is not an easy question. However, drawing from a particular verse that I quoted yesterday, Ishware tat adineshu balisheshu dvishatsucha. 4 types of people that I'm talking about here. One is worship of Ishwara. That's okay. Not 4 types of people, 4 types of situations. Ishwara, the Lord Himself. Tad adineshu, Krishna's servants, or those who are surrendered to Krishna. And they are the real Vaishnavas. There, in those Vaishnavas, you can look at Vaishnava qualities, you can look at all these good things. However, sometimes there are a lot of hidden Vaishnavas too that you won't realize. Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about Pundrik Govinda, right? And he is like an aristocrat. And he dresses up, spick and span. And many people were doubting, what is he? He's more looking at his body and taking care of his own body and dress than anything. He was one of the topmost Vaishnavas. There are teachings like that. And Bhagavad Gita says, do not judge others. You do not know what type of a Vaishnava another person is. So for us, we look at symptoms of a Vaishnava. The first symptom of a Vaishnava is wearing a kantimala. As soon as he wears the tilak and a kantimala, you go to Tesco and you see somebody wearing kantimala, you try going near him and say, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. And actually I do it even in Dubai. As soon as you see somebody looking like wearing a shika, having a kanti, or wear a tilak, you immediately realize. So you know that at least he is in the process. Srila Prabhupada's movement, and we see here of course most of us are initiated devotees. Otherwise, in a congregation, it's like coming to a hospital, okay, where the doctor, who is the most qualified person, is also there as a guru. Various assistants of the doctors and the Bhakti Mission leaders are there. All those people who have diseases are also there. So there are different types of people at different levels, but they're all making efforts, okay. But so that's one particular type of people who are Vaishnavas, who are Tadadineshu, who know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the others are categorized here as Balisheshu, Balak, infants, common people. They may know Hare Krishna, but they don't know anything more. So they are far away from getting into Vaishnava behavior and habits. So you can't directly term them as Vaishnavas in toto, but they are in the path of Vaishnavism. They are definitely, because they've chanted even once Hare Krishna, we have the faith that like how Jagai Madai were taken care of, that Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratu Shenabha. The most munificent Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take them onto their path. However, Bhagavatam also says, sometimes we say, is he initiated? Is not initiated? No. Bhagavatam says if somebody is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is connected. So from that angle, you can give them respect. Yeah? But if you then start assessing them to say whether they are Vaishnavas, all the qualities are there, 26 qualities of Vaishnava are there, may not be there, then we have to show compassion. If you think they are only chanting once and they don't have any more connection, I think then you need to start engaging with them a little more. Can you give me prasad? Can I give you prasad? Have you read this book? Can you come to the temple? And then engage with them, and together, let's both become Vaishnavas together. And that's my viewpoint here. So from one angle, everybody is a child of Krishna, we have to respect everybody. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavyastini Sunichaiva Swapakesha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Yes, a Pandit has to look at everybody as equal. But will a Pandit look at everybody and say, everybody is a Vaishnava? Yes, by nature, we are all servants of Jivera Swarupavai, Nityera Krishnadas. But in terms of practice, we are at different levels and we have to deal with different people in different ways. Bhagavat also says that when you meet a Vaishnava, you offer full obeisances to him. But when you meet a person who is maybe from other sampradayas and others, they say give respect, but maintain your distance. So there are different levels of relationship that are talked about as to how you deal with people. So from that, there is some discrimination that will be required. I hope I have not made your answer too long, but because I was confused, I was developing the idea myself as I was talking. Now, the fact is that, yes, your question is right. But even once somebody says Hare Krishna, he's a blessed soul, for sure. But you can't fall down at his feet and he's not your guru yet. He's not a fully fledged Vaishnava. There is only time that is separating him from being a Vaishnava.
Brilliant. I can see a hand. Is it okay to anybody on your side first before we go over that side?
Yeah.
We got that side, okay? Fine. Oh, she's taking your side now, Supreme Mataji. Look at that. Come on, guys. Some questions on this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for sharing. You mentioned then how fortunate we are to have association with Guru Maharaj, and many Prabhupada disciples didn't have that association. And I guess my question is, because it still occurs to me a little bit like there's a missing, like I work part-time with a fashion company, I do that, I go to the temple, and then Maharaj is traveling a lot, so I don't experience having the opportunity to serve Maharaj in that sense. So I just wondered if maybe you could share something about how to have the experience of serving Guru Maharaj, even though we may not have that vapu or constantly. Yeah.
Just thinking about serving Guru Maharaj, and it is not enough to just think, and sincerely trying to serve Guru Maharaj is association. Guru Maharaj knows, and Guru Maharaj will be reciprocating internally with us. So the opportunity for vapu is not there for everybody, and it is there for different people in different ways. Too much of vapu is danger. Then you may start to take the association of Guru Maharaj very light, because Guru Maharaj may, joke with you, but someday in your immature state, you may joke with him, and you may try to, sort of speak not straight, and So sometimes we take advantage, undue advantage. That's our nature. So sometimes, as we say, you go to a dham, you spend a few days. Great. Sannyasis supposed to stay in each place for not more than 3 days. Only because that respect level for a sannyasi also needs to be maintained, and that distance needs to be maintained. Too much of friendliness with, the Guru, unless you're tuned, it's a problem. Today I was hearing carefully about Mahavara Prabhu when he said that, I got upset. What did he use the right word? And he said, I got angry with him. The fact is, he is one guy who is just like, he was completely soft. You even scold him. I've seen him in atmosphere. I've seen, people complaining about him and how he's still, as if nothing has ever touched him. He's a guy. So now, he possibly, all he said was, he's upset as to why Guru Maharaj has to travel. Guru Maharaj is taking so much pains. Why is he doing that? Why not he sit in Sri Ram Mayapur? Because he is personally seeing the service. Now I can tell you that a lot of people who have Vapu association with Guru Maharaj also get fried and many of them fly away. Right? So Vapu is not always everything. You have to have both Vapu, and as you are having Vapu, you should have Vani also. But Vani is more important, and that's why Srila Prabhupada always emphasized on Vani. So if you're not able to come to a program and you mentally think, I'm not able to come to a program, Krishna takes that as devotional service straight away. So when you know it's genuine. Now if you say, oh Krishna, I'm so unfortunate that I can't offer you pattam, pushpam, palam, toyam, but you're eating pizzas every day, that's incorrect. Right? Where you have a capacity, you have to do it. You don't have a capacity, you think that I'm not able to offer this. You all heard of the story of a Vaishnava who wanted to offer kheer to the Lord in his dream. He could not prepare it all. But in his dream, he had kheer made, and before it was offered to the Lord, he wanted to only test whether the temperature was perfect for offering. So in his dream, he put his finger into that and he woke up. Because he got the shock and he had his hand burned. And that's it. Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam says when Krishna was born, Vasudeva and Devaki were in the jail. But mentally, they were thinking of giving away dhan. What dhan? Cows. Cows with wonderful cloth on top, with cows with horns decorated with golden jewelry, and everything, and not 1, 2 cows, hundreds and thousands of cows to all the brahmanas they are dreaming of giving away. Okay? Later, when he had the capacity, he fulfilled it. Later, when he was released from the jail, he fulfilled his dreams. So, if you have capacity, we should do it. If you don't have capacity, just think, oh Krishna, I'm unable to do it for you. That thought is enough for Krishna, and the same thought is enough. Guru Maharaj, we are all connected to Guru Maharaj through Krishna, so it travels. Mayapur TV is working both ways. Right? So it works. Guru Maharaj realizes that you made your effort to do it, and you could not do it. That's my take on that quiz. Yeah?
Wow, Mayapur TV ki.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I just want to make a small statement.
Keep your mic next to you.
Prabhupada went to Mauritius in 1975. He stayed there for a week.
Yeah.
So one day, Prabhupada and some disciples were walking on the beach. And then there was a lorry, truck, with some laborers in it.
There was a, repeat the last sentence.
Laborers.
Laborers.
Yeah. Carrying sugarcane.
Yeah.
So these laborers said, Hare Krishna, just once. And Prabhupada said to the devotees, they will go back to Godhead.
Yeah.
Just once. That's it. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Srila Prabhupada was very happy with Mauritius. And he said that whole country can become Krishna conscious. How many of you have been to Mauritius? I've been to Mauritius once and I've enjoyed the place. So many temples, so many devotees. Amazing. It's a beautiful holiday destination too. The whole thing is, the whole society is working like we are on a holiday. It's beautiful. Temples are amazing. Amazing destination for nice prasad, nice temples, nice holiday.
two in one.
Yeah.
So you can have a nice temple experience and a nice beach experience as well, probably. Next retreat, maybe.
Yeah.
This is to the organizers. Hare Krishna. Kate? Oh.
Krishna Prabhu. In Dubai, you might have a lot of short-term workers who come to Dubai for a short time and then go back. So we have a big problem in London where people come for a short time and they're gone, and what happens is it disrupts the BV because members who are still there feel disheartened that part of the group has gone back. So how to motivate the existing ones?
How long is your short term?
Well, they might be here 2-3 months and then go away.
Too short.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, if you know that they're going to be here only for 2-3 months, then don't induct them fully as a full-time BV member. Okay? But look at them as in the ICU. In Dubai, okay, in India, all the major cities have big, big temples. Small towns, not all the small towns have temples. Villages and many districts don't have any temples. Devotees do not even go there and visit. But Dubai is such a place where we have hundreds and thousands of people who come to work in Dubai. From every nook and corner of India, you will find people there. Right? Every village you will have people there. So when they come, our strategy is, listen, best opportunity to train him up while he is here in Dubai. He came to collect money, but let him collect the real dhan, the real wealth. And that wealth is the wealth of Krishna consciousness. So within that short time, we tell them, listen, your short time. My father said, in Dubai you are blessed compared to people in London. Why? Even if my son is born in Dubai, he doesn't get citizenship. So therefore I always think that I'm an Indian. My properties are in India. Every year I visit India. Unlike Mauritius. In Mauritius what happens? People have moved into Mauritius 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 80-90% of them have not even visited India. Because you lose that connection with that Bharata Bhumi. And slowly it changes you. So, the benefit that I am saying is when you come with that consciousness. Everybody comes to Dubai thinking he'll come to work for 3 years, earn his money and go back to India. Once he comes into Dubai, he knows that this 3 years money is insufficient. So he puts another 3-year plan. Then he says forever. Okay? But we all think that this world is forever. That's our conception and how we work. But in Dubai, the devotees who come, we work with them to train them within that period. So we say, please do not understand that you are here forever. Use your little time that you have. You're fortunate that you just did not come for money. You're getting the real wealth here in Dubai in the congregation. So learn how to play the mridanga, how to play the harmonium. Ensure that you get initiated before you go. And wherever you go, start your program. You remember I told you yesterday, it just needs a one-man army. Do not think. Srila Prabhupada was a one-man army. And all of us, do not think that when you go back home into India or wherever, when we all come temporarily, that you will have a whole congregation, we'll have a wonderful temple like Tirupati in that spot. You may be in any village, you won't have something like that. So you have to preach. Prabhu is aware of how many devotees who have come from the Middle East into various villages who are preaching, because we get that particular message into them that you are short term in Dubai, get it. While you are in Dubai, make the best of the time that you have in Dubai and learn all the things, get initiated, learn to give a class, then go back home. And we call it the 4G program. We have a special program for that. We call it the 4G program. Gram mein Guru Gauranga. What is it? Gram is every Gaon, the village. Village after village, Guru and Gauranga. And how does it happen? Sitting in Dubai, we make it happen. How does it happen? When they come from there, they get trained. Then, like you have a map here today, who is from where? We have another map. We say, who is from which village in India? And we find if there are 2 or 3 people from the same village, we invest on them even more. Because we know. And then what we do? You go start a program. Because some of them come, they stay for a few years, they go back. Other relatives are here. So we say every year or every month, depending on various criteria, we say we'll give you 5,000 rupees every month. You have to send us a report that you are preaching, that you are in touch with the local temples, that you are distributing books, that you buy an altar, that you are distributing prasadam. So that's our 4G program. So we connect. So short-term visitors, don't induct them as a full-time member. They are capable of contributing to the BV, great. Otherwise, invest upon them as short-term, but go on and inspire them to wherever they are to go and do it. But your BV should still continue to focus on people who are largely residents of London. So unless you have short-term programs, you know well ahead of time that they are only 3 months, invest upon them and don't expect too much more as a return from investing time upon them. That's my feel. But invest upon everybody you see.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
We're still going to carry on Q&A, but now we've got Revati Raman Prabhu as well to join us. So I just want you, Revati Raman Prabhu, and while Prabhu stands there as well, to please grace the stage. So a big Hari Bol for Revati Raman Prabhu. So, everything you've heard from the retreat, we have a question here as well. So now...
Okay, before the question, I only had to say one thing. Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj indicated that His Grace Revati Raman Prabhu is GBC. I have a unique situation that I'm in GBC. Just not him. The Middle East have 3 GBCs, and the 3 GBCs are His Honour Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Honour Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, and His Grace Revati Raman Prabhu, and all the 3 of them are here. I'm the only subject of this here today.
Fantastic. So, let's have the next question. And actually, we have Prabhu at the back who just had his hands up. So, if you could please. And
when you ask a question, you can indicate whom you are asking that question for. It was a tough question. If it's intended to me, I'll pass it on.
Or you both can take your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah.
Bit of feedback on the mics, if you could just put it lower. Thank you.
Dayavarana Prabhu say it doesn't matter, you can answer you or you, whoever, that's fine. Or both.
Both can answer.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for very nice association. I feel very inspired. It's a great. One of the devotees say that some people just say Hare Krishna once and they come back to the spiritual world. So my question is, what about a deaf person? Is a deaf person see the deities once and for that reason can go to the spiritual world because of that?
The earlier question was actually also related to what Prabhu said. So anyway, we have experience as much as the case of Nilachala, where you have just a crow seeing the deity once and falling flat, falling down into the pond. And immediately you see the Vishnu Tattva or the form of the Swarupya coming out of there. So seeing is definitely a blessing too. But just that's the uniqueness of the Rath Yatra, where the Lord comes out to see everybody, and everybody who's seen the smiley face of Jagannath, someday or the other becomes a devotee. Hare Krishna.
It depends upon the jiva. I agree with this answer, very nice answer. The jiva. Since how many births the jiva is practicing Krishna consciousness in the bhakti. At the same time, when the jiva is committing opposite or not, that counts. For example, the case of Ramanujacharya. With his devotees, he goes to the pond in South India, Tamil Nadu. After eating prasadam, he washes his hands. The fishes, they come and eat this prasadam. And immediately they get a 4-hand form, they all go back to God. And all the disciples are shocked. They ask, Guru Maharaj, how is that? The fishes are eating your Chishkar, Prasad, and they're going back. And every day they are eating. What about us? But we're not going back. We're not getting the 4 arms. We're not going back. What about us? The fishes are not committing offenses. Like the Dhamapara, Namapara, Vaishnavapara, Sevapara. In our case, what happens? We stop committing sins. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, fine. But in the community, we take devotees very casually. Knowingly, unknowingly, they commit aparadhas. So what happens? The relationship with the deities or the holy name becomes difficult. So we should be very careful not to commit any kind of aparadha, either sevapara to the deities, or Vaishnavapara, or Namapara. That we got to be careful. So these devotees, this one glance of the deities, they are in fact godhead beings. The soul is free from any kinds of offenses or sins, one. And second thing is Kripa Siddhi, Lord's special blessings, Kripa Siddhi. They are all sadhana siddhis, sadhakas they are. Some special cases, Kripa Siddhi. Or the soul, Jiva, is very exalted. Okay? Prabhu, the answers?
I have Supriya Mataji in the corner.
I have a question for both of you. This is something that arises to us when we start preaching. Our mind tricks us saying, how are you going to balance your family, your career, and your devotional services? And normally when we invite sannyasis or full-time devotees giving classes, after the class people will say, or we all tend to say, oh, he's doing such a nice service, he's a temple devotee, or he's a full-time service. So now we cannot say that because we have 2 of you who are successful in your, because I've heard a lot about both of you from my mentors, that you're very successful in your career, in your devotion service, in your family, and an ideal role model for society. So, so we know that the mistake is with us, the way the mind is tricking us, which always gives an hesitance when we enter into the preaching mode. Will I be able to perform my sadhana well if I'm going to spend more time in preaching or balance my career, my family? So can you please share your comments and your Krishna conscious journey to help us inspire to just go ahead in preaching? Thank you.
Prabhu, while he is a grasa, is a full-time devotee. He is the temple president of ISKCON Tirupati, and I've seen him. And I've heard a lot about him and his levels of sadhana. He's there up in the morning, early, sitting there, and every devotee in the temple, he'll watch who's coming for Mangala and who's not coming for Mangala. And he's got his spies all around. He knows whose sadhana is what. And in addition, he is amazing in his level of sadhana. Okay? Me, as a person who starts office at 7 in the morning and with a family who has to work 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week thankfully only, and then it's a question of carefully balancing it and trying to see there are compromises that may have to be made. Not every day you can finish all your rounds early in the morning, but you do it, you catch up, you strive. It's a struggle by the day. Okay? So, but to try and then fit in all the other aspects, you need to really weigh which is more important. And there are certain areas where you need to say, okay, today I'll be able to do this and tomorrow I'll be able to do this. Once a week, Abhisheka, Ekadasi, grand Abhisheka for all the deities. There are various steps that you would need to do. I'm not talking about compromising and chanting in the basic sadhana levels. I'm talking about how you want to fit it within your day. There are compromises, so it's not an easy job. But sometimes I always like it when there's a lot of pressure, when there's a lot of challenge. I like it. And there's no challenge in everything. Many times I see it's an off day. Maybe my level of sadhana is poorer than a day that I'm jam-packed with office. So it's a question of how, you're training yourself and how you have the husband and wife and the family
complimenting and supporting in what you do. And sometimes very important. I may be the yatra leader, I may be the head of the family, but many times my wife encourages me and saying, come on, let's not miss this morning today now. Let's move out, go for a walk. And I think we have to respect that give and take between the husband and wife. And it's very important in devotional life to have one supporting the other. That's why we call her the Ardhangini or the better half many times. Okay? So it's a question of balancing sadhana, but we always look up to them. But we also think sometime as to when we can settle down with office activities and get full time into serving Guru Maharaj and full time into serving temples. Because what they are doing is very ideal. Their sacrifice early in life to have given up profession, given up a job, joined full time is the greatest of sacrifice. However, that should not put the rest of us to feel, oh, until I join a temple, I can't do this and I can't do that. So again, that's where Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was saying that even the grahasthas, sometimes he was saying, I'm not talking about for myself, I'm saying he was saying, referring, that the grahasthas sometimes he was mentioning that they are preaching much more than sannyasis many times. And all of you who are doing the Bhakti Vriksha are doing a great amount of preaching. So we have to really be proud that we are able to be in that service, but we always have to look upon to devotees like this who are full-time, who are able to dedicate a lot of time in service of the Lord. Their whole life is given to the Lord.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada was a congregation devotee. He was not a full-time devotee. He was a congregation devotee. He was doing his business. He was taking care of his family. Then he was visiting Gauri. Some senior devotees had told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, I think he should join full-time. Prabhupada said, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, not necessary. Appropriate time, you'll do better things. And he did it. Whether you are inside or outside, that's not important. It's a consciousness. Why I came to ISKCON? Why I came to ISKCON? It's very clear, to go back to God. Enough of this material world is enough. I want to enter the Vaikuntha consciousness. I want to go back to God. That's the purpose of coming to ISKCON. I should go back and I help others to go back. Because it's not my home. It's not my place. This is a temporary world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Natmanti mahatmanaha samshittam paramagataha. It's a dukkhalaya. You jump to the ocean and say, water should touch me. How is it possible? So you jump into dukkhalaya, there is dukkha all around you. So you got to insulate ourselves. You got to insulate. How is that? Being a good devotee. So what for I came to ISKCON? To practice and to preach. Achar and prasad. That's what our acharyas did, and we should do the same thing. To do prasad, I should do achar. But Pusa, he is a tough. He is a vice president of a big company. Not a small thing. So many responsibilities. Plus a big yatra of 800 devotees. Plus a family. What a big family. And he's managing everything in a very balanced way. And his enthusiasm is not going down. It's increasing. How's that? The purpose. Why I came to ISKCON. One thing. Why I came to ISKCON. Second thing, have an association of enthusiastic devotees. Very important. Association is very important. What kind of people are around you? Is it Krishna Katha or Grami Katha? Grami Katha means it puts you down. You go down and down consciousness. Good devotees around you discussing Krishna Katha, some plans for Krishna consciousness. In that mood, yes, you grow. You know, as yesterday I explained, your consciousness grows. Because it is bloom. One day you can touch the Puna Krishna, fully bloomed. Otherwise, shrinks. Consciousness gets shrunken and totally gets covered. So, two things we should remember. One is, why I came to ISKCON. To the point. Why I came to ISKCON. To go back to God. You know? Number two, have association of enthusiastic devotees. Then our consciousness will be always at a higher level. Okay? Alex.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think that reminds me that when we're not fixed in our goal of life, that's when our mind starts tricking us. Thank you for...
Prabhupada says, goal, just a goal, no use. You have a goal, I have a goal, he has a goal, everybody has their own goals. Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, ultimate goal. He emphasizes ultimate goal, going back to God. And Prabhupada gives the example of Katanga Maharaj. Though he was a king, very busy man, king, rich man, not king, emperor. But his goal, though he was doing so many things, always he was thinking of Krishna, how to go back to God. And he had a moment's time, he practiced Krishna consciousness in one moment and went back to God. Katanga Maharaj. Okay. Like whatever we may do, we should be conscious of Krishna. It's all for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Shubham. Let's not think he's a small boy, he's a very intelligent boy.
He's not a small boy, he's a gentleman.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu. My question is that why do natural disasters and terrorist attacks happen in the world? Maybe if one of the devotees is caught in one of them, so...
Wow, what a question.
Mass karma of individuals is one way of talking about it. Srila Prabhupada has often spoken about it. The other angle is, I'm just reading into your question to say, good things I understand Krishna sanctions. What about these earthquakes and calamities? Is that also sanctioned by Krishna? And can Krishna sanction such killing? It's a thought that you may have, right? So why does Krishna do it? So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord answers that Nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasyetava. He says whether it's Nyaya or Viparita. So he says Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanam Nibhodhame Sankhye Kritante Proktani Siddhe Sarvapramana. All activities have 5 things that are required. What are the 5 things that are required? The place of action, the person who is going to do it, the tools that are required to do it, the endeavors that are required to do it, and 2 persons who are starting the same line of business may have the same thing. But there is a 5th element, and which is the most final element, and that is the mercy of Krishna. And the mercy of Krishna does not mean only when it is a successful business, mercy of Krishna. Even unsuccessful business, that is also mercy of Krishna. He does it for a particular purpose that person's business does not go. So, Krishna says, Nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetava. Good or bad is sanctioned by the Lord. I often say, whether it is Obama or whether it is Osama, both sanctioned by Krishna. If somebody is perishing in these calamities, it's mass karma. Krishna knows why it happens. Let's hope we are not in that particular stuff. And let's always be with devotees. Even if we have to go, we'll go back to Krishna. It's my quick take.
Yeah, what Prabhu said is correct, mass karma. Once Srila Prabhupada was questioned in America when he was giving a lecture. A media person gets up and says to Prabhupada, "You say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is doing everything. Why this Vietnam war? Why are young youth there dying in Vietnam war? Why can't you talk to your Krishna and stop this war?" Prabhupada says, "Yes, I'll talk to Krishna. Before I talk to Krishna, you talk to your government and tell them to stop these slaughterhouses, killing the cows. You stop killing the cows, close the slaughterhouses, I'll talk to Krishna, the next day the war stops." He was very quiet, no answer. Right? You can reach to government and talk to them and stop this slaughtering the cows. As long as cow slaughtering is going on, there will be problems. Why India is suffering so much? Why poverty in India? Cow slaughtering. Before English could come to India, there are more cows than human beings. The entire Bharatavarsha was fertile. Land was fertile. Throw anywhere some paddy, it is good. It was like that. When the English came, they found out how come India is so prosperous. They found it's the cows. Cow milk, cow urine, cow dung. So let us start. Robert Klein is the first person who started the first slaughterhouse in Calcutta. And then kill the cows, introduce buffaloes. Cow milk is more of goodness. You can think very nicely. Buffalo milk is more of ignorance. You cannot think. Let the Indians not think. So now all Indians are drinking coffee, buffalo milk, and they can't think. Spiritually they can't think. Percentage is very few. You see. So you got the point? So masking. That's why this karma, as Prabhu says, karma is actually. Lord, karma will take care of everything. Lord sanctions indirectly. Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedvishis napriya. E bhajanti tu ma bhaktyamai teshu chakmyaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But those who do service to me, he is my friend and I am his friend. He is in my heart and I am in his heart. Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedvishis napriya. No envy, no partiality. I am equal to all. But according to the bhajan, according to the activities, reactions will happen. Okay?
I just wanted to add one point.
Yeah, please.
But Prabhu touched upon cow. At least the British brought buffaloes. But the foolish Indians who, after post-independence, in the name of white revolution, they brought British cows.
Yes.
They're more dangerous than the British.
Denmark.
And they brought the Holsteins and the Jerseys and the Western cows. And the Western cows give 25 liters of milk, but they need air conditioning. They need food. They need so much to be taken care of. And then milk is not very suitable.
Not potent.
Not medicinal. There's nothing like a special cow. How many of you been to Tirupati? Next time you go to Tirupati, go and see the Goshala that he has just behind the Tirupati temple. He's got cows that are like Alsatian dogs. Just this short. They call Punganur cows. Very special cows. Just this big, the cow, to your hip. But sturdy. But the milk is only 2 liters of milk it will give. Not like 25 liters of your British cows. But this 2 liters is medicine, nectar that you're drinking. Balaji is only given this particular milk. So we need to be very careful about it. Drinking cow's milk is important. And with the same note, I want to touch upon another problem. As he's a GBC, I want to mention it to him too. He has to take it up seriously. I've seen Shivarama Swami make a nice post on this. There is a trend and a fad to become vegans. Krishna is not a vegan. Forget about this particular business of becoming a vegan. You're from Govind's, are you? Mataji? I saw full of vegan Martin Govind's. Saw you that day there. But I did see Pani was also there, so it's happy. But that, Krishna is not a vegan. However, we have to know how to respect the cows and honor the cows. And cow's milk is not killing cows. So there's a topic that I think GBC has to handle because there's a team of devotees who are becoming vegans now. And so we need to be careful about this thing because Krishna is Makan Chor. He's not a vegan chore. Right?
Wow. So because of time and also Sri Vallabha has to catch a flight, we can only probably take one more question. And who had their hand up first? Mataji, who? Okay.
There are two.
There's two. Maybe if we're quick, we can do. Maybe a short fire, quick answer round. Okay, we'll do that. Let's get the both in. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I am Venuvadana. So my question is, so in the morning we are doing deity worship, Mangalarti and other things. One senior devotee is telling, why you are not finishing your 16 rounds of chanting? Because I told I will prepare all this preparation of altar and other things, so that it is taking time. So I am not able to do the 16 rounds in the morning. So that senior devotee is telling to me, you stop deity worship and you do 16 rounds of chanting. Whatever it is sin, you are taking that one. I will take that one. So in that, just I want clarification.
Haribol. I wanted to close my eyes. I wanted you to answer. Chanting is the ultimately, and not even at the cost of deity worship, we should lose track of chanting. So chanting is very important. So from that particular angle, I know it is. Now, if deity worship is taking a lot of your time, I think it's for you to try and see how you engage the rest of your family so that you spread out the time it takes for you to do your deity worship. And you're a single person, then I think if you have taken up a vow for a deity worship in a particular way, I will not come to you and say slow down. But for the benefit of others, if you do not have much of help and support and it's going to take a lot of time, and deity worship, if you want to make it as elaborate as a temple in the house, sometimes it can take away a lot of your time. Priority should be assigned to chanting in the family. Srila Prabhupada many times, while he wanted every grihastha to have a deity, he wanted a grihastha to have a deity at home. But in living in a temple community, he was not very particular that the grihasthas living in the temple community should have their own deities. Because that's where I was telling you. You're doing Bhakti Vriksha, but you need to be still connected to the main temple. Because the temple is the Adhipati of London, Londoneshwara. So you need to know that your responsibility also comes there. So in a temple community, the responsibility to serve collectively in the temple is very important, more than just your own personal deity. So to that extent, if you do not have already taken vows, if you want to take your vows in a phased way, gradually, so that the importance for chanting, whatever said and done, even though I may not be doing the right thing, chanting in the morning and completing your rounds in the morning is the best thing that you can ever do in life. So I'm not able to answer beyond that because you are already doing deity worship. How to adjust that, I will leave it to Prabhu to suggest.
Harish, whether in the temple or in the house, getting up early in the morning, Brahma Muhurta is the most important thing. Whether you do the deity worship or chanting, doesn't matter. As the Prabhu said, we've already taken a vow to worship the deities, worship the deities. Worship, continue worship the deities. Or if you go to the temple, Mangalarti, Manor, Soho, no problems. You go there. Other you want to do deity worship, make it simple. Don't make it very gorgeous. Make it simple. Then you can chant your rounds. That is difficult. Prabhupada says, when as a grihastha, you must be too busy. Before breakfast, I have to chant few rounds. Before lunch, I have to chant few rounds. Before dinner, I have to chant few rounds. And Prabhupada laughs. He laughs. He laughs because eating is so important. I'll not forget. So I made a practice, I'll not forget my chant. I chant my rounds, then I eat. I chant my rounds, then I eat. It's so difficult for you. You can do that also. Or one go, if you can finish 16 rounds, morning, fantastic. Once Sahas Prabhu of LA Temple President and few others, they approached Prabhupada in the temple. And they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please tell us what pleases you the most. And Prabhupada doesn't answer immediately. He's just chanting, looking all around. After some time, he says, sit down, in one go, you finish your 16 rounds. That will please. Okay. We can do that? Very good. Others, okay.
Also, the deities at home are like personal deities. You have a rapport with them. No, sorry, I'll just finish for a second.
One day you can tell the deity, oh Krishna, I can't make a full chapan bhog for you. I can make only 2 dishes for you. Please accept what I make. You know, Krishna is reciprocative. So from that angle, if you think you want to make priority to chanting, not at the cost of losing chanting, but you want to do that, you can also tell him, Krishna, okay, now I'm going to revise my vows to you. I'm going to slightly tone down daily, but I do once a week in a gorgeous way, Ekadasi in a gorgeous way, I'll compensate for it this way or that way, but I don't want to do it. I think he will still be flexible, so it's your choice what you want to do. Sorry, I interrupted you.
This is the last question. Thank you. And after this question, we will have a recess. Everyone can questions a little for the next part.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, I had so many questions, but as Prabhu said, it's the last question. So I'm going to ask a simple question. Like, I feel fortunate sitting in London to get all the association of the great devotees. But however, my heart often cries when I see that my friends or relatives who are back in India or in Bangladesh who are yet to realize Krishna consciousness. And my nephew, nieces who are growing up, maybe some of them are not Krishna conscious. So what do you suggest that how can I influence them or give them the nectar of Krishna consciousness sitting so far? Because maybe I talk to them, get a chance to talk to them once in 3-4 months, and that's not enough. So what do you suggest how I go forward?
So I'm at a situation where many people in Dubai have a large number of family back in India, sometimes their own parents, and it's a dilemma how to bring your parents. Sometimes the person is a bachelor in Dubai and his wife and children are there and he suffers as to how to do it. So it's not an easy stuff. However, every letter, every communication, every WhatsApp that you do, just attract them a little to Krishna consciousness. Inform them and connect them to a local temple and a devotee to see whether you can enthuse. When you go on a holiday, ensure that you take Krishna conscious gifts for them. Have some program wherein they are attracted to the temple or devotees are taken to their house. And ultimately you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. So you have to pray. That's the last bit that we talk about here. Balisheshu Dvishat Sucha. Those who are envious of Krishna, you don't preach to them, but you pray for them. You pray to Krishna that you change this foolish man. Oh Krishna, please enable me, somehow or the other my relatives should become devotees. So ultimately, it's a prayer which you can still do sitting here and transfer the prayer to Krishna on their behalf. But use all your efforts of sending them small books. You are attracting them to go to the temple for various reasons. Use your innovative techniques in somehow connecting devotees to these would-be devotees, soon-to-be devotees of your relatives. Merely because they are your relatives, they are getting good karma also. Merely because they are your relatives. And the Shastra says that a person, one member of the family becomes a devotee, 7 generations up and 7 generations later will all become devotees. So that applies. But when you do any function or anything, give away only spiritual gifts. From London, you don't have to take for them dolmio sauce and ABC. From Dubai, we take various gifts. Nothing required. Just take spiritual gifts for them. That's all that we try to do every time. And we try to see how to connect them on. Send Back to Garden magazine subscription. It's very cheap. Back to Garden magazine subscription for all your relatives. For as much as $3 or £4, you can get a whole year's Back to Garden subscription. Give it to them in their own language. And do it all. And one of my sons, Upanayana Samskara, whoever came, we took all their names and we sent them Back to Garden subscriptions for a whole year. Beyond that, you renew it if you want. 1 year subscription for free. Try our best to connect them. Rest is the Lord. Sorry.
I agree with him 100%. See, in London or in Gulf countries, it's easy to practice Krishna consciousness. India is not easy. too much noise, cacophony, too much relatives, friends, everywhere. I noticed because many times I go to Middle East, people are more peaceful, they can focus, there's no disturbance. But they down in India, too much disturbance.
What do you think is the disturbance, if I interrupt you?
Too much of TV, too much of cinemas,
too much of relatives,
too many relatives,
too many marriages,
and they have to please everybody. It's a cacophony, too much noise. It's very difficult. Here in London, I tell you something, you can focus. I mean, maybe the Indians here, they can focus. But down they become, after this Middle East trip, they come back to India, they see stars. Oh my God, my friends, they told me, it was so peaceful there. We were chanting, there's no cinemas, nothing else actually chanting, and then few friends, all devotee friends, it was so nice. Yeah, my God, I got to please everybody. I got to please my relatives, in-laws, parents, friends, relatives. So tough it is. But you have the will association, a strong association. You have the will, strong will. That's determination. It's very important in Krishna consciousness. Here or there, one should be determined. And everybody questions Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I am not getting that determination. What I should do? Prabhupada says you are an animal. Prabhupada, not my words. Prabhupada words. There is no determination for the human being, it is an animal, Prabhupada says. So determination, I want Krishna. I want Krishna service. I want Krishna prema. That should be our goal. Then you can help them. You can, as Prabhu said, you pray for them. Prayer is very powerful. It can move mountains. You can pray for them and back to God magazine, some prasad, or connect to one good devotee. Some good devotee whom you know. Tell him, talk to him, pray to him, please help him. You just help him. Slowly, he knows, devotees are very tactful. Slowly they'll enter, slowly they help. Okay?
So in India, people think, oh, Krishna is in my garden. I know Bhagavad Gita. My grandfather used to be a big Pandit. I have Bhagavad Gita book in my house firmly wrapped up. I read it. So that's the tendency of people back home. They think they have everything. But as soon as you come to Dubai, Indians who come abroad, then you feel you're a little getting peeling from the culture. You're worried. The culture that you have got, whether you got it enough or not, you think even that culture my children won't have. And I'm here in London. So then you think, oh, I need to somehow connect them on. And that's where the thought is. Children will be ready. Their parents will be ready to get their children into the Balutsava classes, Bhakti Vriksha classes. They'll be more interested. What I did not get, I want my children to get. Or whatever I got, I want them to get it. So this is a better atmosphere. Plus, no relatives, not much of trouble, no old mother to take care of. There's that. When you're here, you have your time, you have your life. Krishna is totally to you. So this is a better atmosphere many times. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please, let's have a big Haribol for Revati Raman Prabhu. And Sri Vallabha Prabhu. So what we're going to do now is, unfortunately, Sri Vallabha Prabhu has to now leave. We just, the transport's on its way. We're going to have a little recess, and we've got a little surprise refreshment. One's an Indian refreshment, one's an English refreshment, but I won't tell you what it is. You just have to find out. And we'll do that. We're going to give you 20 minutes, okay? So you can talk of everything you heard. You can have some nice refreshment, and then we will come back, and we're going to be doing hopefully, some bhajans. And that's all I'll say for now. Hare Krishna. So take a little rest. Hare Krishna.